Use full screen mode.
Yeah. So it's Akhil Khare. My proposed work is design and develop a framework for collision detection in wireless sensor network. The area of
Your
research
PPT is
is,
not coming.
yeah, I conclude
Hello,
in
your
next six
PPT is
7 minutes,
not
not
coming.
issue, sir. I will complete it as per time limit, no issue.
No, 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 no. Your PPT. Someone is disturbing your PPT. Again, you share.
Just a minute, sir. Yeah, I hope it's visible now, sir.
Yes. Now you present.
Yeah. So
Others do
that,
not disturb. Others, please do not disturb. If he completed his presentation and then you can share your PPT.
I
Only
will
one
schedule it.
hour,
Next 7 minutes, I
one
will
hour,
complete, sir.
okay, 1 hour, 15 minutes are only available to present all the paper. First come first only, but you should not disturb others' presentation. Please take care. You can take 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes for the presentation. That is
Yeah.
sufficient. Within that, you conclude. Okay. Others should get the opportunity. Okay. Thank you. You can continue.
Yeah. So my title is Design and Develop a Framework for Collision Detection in Wireless Sensor Network. As per the timeline, the research area is computer network. If collision decrease the overall performance by increasing the bandwidth wastage, uh, consumption, and data loss, challenges in a scenario are effective collision detection method, boost the performance of network, collision migration mechanism by using packet pre-scheduling approach. I also gone through with 11th IEEE Springer 6 and n number of research paper, and I identify the gap which is in the network. OH all develop a system energy efficient collision mechanism performance of network increase by controlling traffic not in relay, but this protocol result poor in latency performance. Second is Volsimati published in 2018 Springer, but problem is it was not suitable for in security attack. Third paper is related to weekend. My research paper is related to the research analysis, and I gave that paper. It failed to use multiple time slot for a link. Then I identified the third literature. I allied also 2017 IEEE paper. The problem of this algorithm is it was not evaluated under the various application scenario. Then the next module proposed by Kumar S. Tiwari, 2018 paper, that model are failed to use combination of communication protocol and ending method in WSN, wireless sensor network. Sixth protocol is developed by W. Devanto 2020. It's a recent paper,
Hello,
Springer.
sir. 1 minute, please.
Yeah,
Sir,
please.
1 minute, please. Other PPT, other person is disturbing. Paramu Kailasam, ma'am. Dr. Paramu, ma'am. Okay. You continue.
Yeah.
Whether you are discussing the
Yeah.
literature review,
Yeah. So after that,
yeah,
I
you
will.
continue. You continue.
Yeah. Sixth presentation Devanto. It
One
failed to
minute, one
reduce
minute,
the
please.
gap.
1 minute. 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Please, dear participant, someone is presenting the paper. Others should not present. Okay. It's wastage of your time and our time. So please don't disturb the presentation. If they have completed, you can share your PPT and continue. Okay. Up to that, you don't disturb. Please make note of this. Yes. Okay. Thank you. You continue, sir.
Yeah. So W Vento is identifies a problem, but it failed to reduce the gap among the maximum and actual coverage for each search agent. Seventh proposed is Abdul Qadim. it effect to reduce packet collision, but it's failed to very difficult to operator to find the collision in a system. And the last protocol which is available in a system, T-Controma, is published in 2019. It reduced the traffic congestion, but failed to consider com- compensation of traffic transmission time. So I already analyzed all the 8 module which is available to control the collision detection, the method, advantage and the disadvantage. And then after I am planning to come to my problem definition specification for research is to increase lifetime of a network is a great challenge in WSN. It is very complex to solve the collision problem due to the random back of time which sensor node wait to before the sending the data. Third, the main objective is high level of attention as well as signal loss is a major challenge in WSN. WSN battery operated and initiated perform a common task. However, it's very difficult to recharge and change the battery of sensor node as the node are battery operated. The requirement of systems are need to be familiar with the future needs, challenges of wireless network, standard technology and their basic operation, how to evaluate the MAC and advanced network protocol using the simulation of the tools. I already refer around 7 to 8 modules and for your suggestions. So my presentation is done. Any query? And it's a research paper. I till now I identify what's the gap available in the wireless sensor network collision and going to proceed further.
Okay, what about the results and the discussions?
The answer is I find out the what the result. I identify all the 8 modules, identify their drawbacks. Now I'm come ready with the research gap and scope of my presentation for move further. I complete
Okay,
around
okay, thank you.
60% of the analysis and design.
Okay, okay. Others, Dr. Paramu can start their presentation.
Okay, sir. Thanks for the communication.
Okay, okay, very good, very good. Thank you. Dr. Paramu, now you can share. Dr. S. Paramu, now you can share. Now you can share your PPT. Otherwise, CSC 11 can start presentation. CSC 11 is ready. They can start presentation.
Sir, EC004 is ready, sir.
Okay, then you share your presentation. Share your presentation and start.
Sir, CSCC, I'm not ready to present. Shall I
Okay,
start the
okay, okay. The PPT is shared.
Yes, sir.
Padmavati can start.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. I'm Badmavati from Dhanalakshmi Srinivas Institute of Technology. I'm here to present about the IoT-based smart separate garbage and clearance system. First of all, I have to talk about IoT. IoT is an internet connected devices which is able to connect and maintain the system automatically. For digital transformation, we are using IoT. So this is the introduction I have given. So for the automation only we prefer IoT. In this regarding the project, we have given about the idea of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. That is the Clean India project. So the main objective is to make India clean and avoid all industries. Sir, do you able to hear me? Sir, can you
Yes,
able
yes,
to hear?
yes. No problem.
Sir, thank you. So
Yes,
we have
no
used
problem.
Yes, sir. We have used different types of sensors and also an GSM and GPS module to, and also we are able to divide the wet and dry waste automatically by using the system. So there are the three base papers which we have been analyzed. The first one is IO-based garbage alert system, which is using Arduino UNO. Arduino UNO is used to separate the. It is used to identify the garbages. The second one is smart and wireless waste management. In the second paper, they have used Wi-Fi module, and the third one is clearance using IoT. But these trees are not using the GPS. They are using only GPRS, that is General Packet Radio System. Instead of that, in this our paper, we have used a GPS module, and instead of Arduino, we are coming with the Raspberry Pi for the advanced automations. The proposed system is nothing but a smart bin with a consist of IOS. For example, we have different types of sensors. The moisture sensor, gas sensors, ultrasonic sensors. The moist sensor is used to identify the different types of waste, either a dry and wet waste. The gas sensor is used to identify the different types of odors. And it is also having a Raspberry Pi, which is we have given Raspberry Pi 3 version, which consists of 28 GPIO pins. It is used to connect to the data, and GSM for conveying the message, and GPS for measuring the distance of the message, and the LCD display. The LCD is used to display the weightage of the garbage. For example, we have a ultrasonic sensor is used for using the measuring the distance between the systems, and a gas sensor for analyzing the odor. Load is nothing but it is used to measure the weight of the garbage. The garbage is load cell is used to measure the weight of the garbage, and also we have moisture sensor. In the garbage we divided into two probes. That is a dry probe and wet probe. The moisture sensor only used to identify whether the waste is wet or dry. It can be automatically divided. If it is a dry waste, it could be in the dry batch. If it is a wet waste, it will be separated in the wet bin. And we are using the Raspberry Pi for connecting these modules like IoT, Wi-Fi, and LCD displays. Different types of sensors has been connected to the Raspberry Pi, which is able to connect the data. And we are using IoT module, that is Wi-Fi module ESP8266. Instead of Node MCU, we have given ESP8226 Wi-Fi chip with a transformation module, which can easily send the mail and SMS through the devices. And we have used GPS module for notification and waste management can be achieved. This is a simulation diagram, whereas we have used Raspberry Pi and different types of modules. Whatever we are given, it has been designed accordingly. So the conclusion is nothing but previous papers are giving only they have advanced the wastage, advanced the garbage bins, but they are not separating the wet and dry. So in this project, we have divide the wet and dry waste. In the future, we are equipped with the different types of bins. Instead of large number of bins, we can divide the different types of bins, and also try to change the languages. It is only sending the message in English, but in the native language, it cannot be sent. So whether the email or SMS can be sent to the municipal system by using our own language is current progress. So that's all. Sir?
Okay, what are the difference between the previous innovation and your innovation?
So?
Actually, already.
So in the previous
Many
paper,
papers published.
the wastages, sir. We have given three different papers. They didn't divide the wastages. They have only acquired the measurements only they have given, and they can send the messages to the municipal. But in this project, we have divided the dry and wet wastage in the dustbins, smart bins. In the smart bin itself, they can divide that. Using the moisture sensor, it can be divided into a dry and a wet waste.
Okay, what will be the cost to implement this concept?
So for minimum, for the devices, it can be cost around 90,000, sir. So for implementation, if it is a come as a product, it will be cost around 80 to 90,000.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Other participants can share the PPT and present immediately.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I am ready.
Thank you. Okay, share your PPT.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon.
This is
Good afternoon to one and all present over here. So I am here with
ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am.
Sir,
Share
EC004 is presenting.
When one is presenting the paper, others should not disturb. Both of you are coming and disturbing the session. Who came first? They can present.
Yes,
Yes.
EC004, sir.
Yes, this,
Shall
share,
I
share,
continue, sir?
share, please.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Yes, this automatic swing system.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Automatic swing system can present. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gautami and I am from KS Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. The topic of my presentation is GSM-based baby monitoring and automatic swing system. My teammates are Satish Kumar, sir, Kavya, Nainashri, and Sai Teshan. Here is a list of topics that will be covered in this presentation. So first of all, let me give you all a brief introduction about our system. Babies need proper care, sleep and attention for their growth and development. Due to work pressure, parents are finding it difficult to spend time with their babies, but they can always rely upon our system. Our system monitors baby orientation, checks if the mattresses is wet, detects baby's cry, and has few additional features too. With the help of GSM module, our system sends alert messages to parents whenever necessary. Moving on to the literature survey. The objectives of the paper Smart Baby Cradle is to watch baby live through Arduino camera and to send SMS to parent. The purpose of the paper Automation in Baby Cradle Bed is to design a cradle which detects the movement of the baby, swings when the baby cries, and to detect wetness of the bed. In the paper IoT-based smart cradle system with an Android app for baby monitoring, authors mention a system which supports video monitoring and swings when baby cries. So the paper Automatic Baby Cradle and Monitoring for Infant Care describes a system which monitors vital parameters such as moisture, surrounding temperature, stores these data and swings the cradle when baby cries. The objectives of paper Automatic Cradle System with measurement of baby's vital biological parameters is to swing the cradle when baby cries, to alert parents via SMS, and to control the speed of the cradle swing. So the system proposed in the paper Internet of Things based Smart Baby Cradle swings whenever the baby cries, rotates the toy to entertain the baby, and to sense temperature and moisture. So the purpose of the system is to help parents balance their professional and personal life. Our system serves as a helping hand to homemakers also. Some babies just need little distraction to get back to the sleep or to stop crying. Many fear to appoint caretakers to look after the baby because of the safety issues and expenses. So the proposed system helps in overcoming the mentioned problems. So let's look at the additional features present in our system with respect to the existing system. The existing system swings when the baby cries, checks if the mattress is wet, has a camera to monitor the baby, and sends SMS to parent whenever necessary. In addition to all these features, proposed system plays a song and a video to entertain the baby, has accelerometer to track baby's orientation, buzzer is used as a notification factor, and has a safety cushion. So on the whole, these are the objectives of our system. Requirements are Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, which is an embedded computer to which all the other components are connected, can be powered by micro USB cable or with the help of 9-volt battery. Programming language used on Raspberry Pi is Python. GSM SIM 900A is used to enable communication between the microcontroller and the GSM network. Raspberry Pi camera module V2 is used to take high definition videos and as well as the still photographs, and it is used to monitor the baby in real time. KY037 sound detection sensor module. It consists of sensitive capacitance microphone for detecting the sound. Moisture sensor is used to detect the wetness in the mattress. ADXL335 accelerometer is used to track the orientation of the baby. Two NEMA 17 stepper motors are used, and we are using L293D stepper motor drivers to power and control the stepper motors. Stepper motor drivers are powered by 9-volt battery. Buzzer is used as a notification factor, and a monitor is used to display the videos for baby's entertainment. So have a look at the block diagram of our system. As you all can see, all sensors and actuators are connected to the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus board. Camera module is placed on the cradle to record baby's movement. The moisture sensor is placed in the bed. Audio sensor is placed on the cradle. Accelerometer is placed on baby's cloth to track its orientation. We are using two stepper motor drivers, one to swing the cradle and other is attached to the safety cushion, and these motors are connected to stepper motor drivers. Raspberry Pi GSM module, the battery and the buzzer are placed separately near cradle. So now let's move on to the methodology. Our system is mainly designed to monitor babies due to their vulnerabilities to get into dangers. Moisture sensor will be placed in the mattress whenever it senses a threshold value. An alert message will be sent to the parent. If there is no change in the sense moisture level, even after stimulated time, a buzzer activates. Baby's cry sound will be saved priorly while programming. Audio sensor will be detecting the sound around it. Whenever the surrounding sound frequency matches with the saved baby's cry sound, cradles start to swing and a song is played. If a baby cries for more than stipulated time, an alert message will be sent to the parent and a video will be played instead of a song to distract the baby. Accelerometer will be placed on baby's cloth. Its sensing axes are X, Y, and Z. Threshold values will be fixed. Whenever accelerometer value reaches these threshold values, alert message will be sent to the parents and a safety cushion falls around the cradle. Raspberry Pi camera module will be attached to the cradle to help parents monitor the baby from a distance. The system excluding stepper motor drivers can be powered by micro USB power cable or with the help of 9-volt battery. The stepper motor drivers are powered by 9-volt battery in turn. The stepper motor driver powers the stepper motor. Hence, all these sensing, monitoring actuations help us monitor the baby and take precautions. To sum up, this system aims to monitor babies from potential dangers occurring in everyday situations when parents are not around. Various sensors and actuators are used to measure every activity of the baby and notify the same to the parents via SMS. So these are the various papers we refer to gain knowledge required to build our system. Thank you, everyone.
Easy 15 can share the PPT. ECE 15 can share the PPT. Share the PPT.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Full screen. F5 or full screen mode.
Is it viewable, sir?
Full screen is not coming.
Now, sir? Full screen is not coming.
Full screen is not coming. Then use full screen mode. Left side some slides are there.
So I shall I start, sir?
F5, press F5. Whether you are using mobile or computer,
Mobile, computer, sir, computer, laptop.
press F5. Press F5.
F5.
Automatically you can get F5. Otherwise, bottom left side one icon is there.
Yes, sir. Should I start, sir?
Okay, you present.
Okay,
Please
sir.
learn and then come and present. Okay. You must present in the full screen mode. Then only we can view easily.
Okay, it is showing
Okay.
the full screen,
Okay.
sir.
Anyway, you present.
Myself is Pramukh Kailasam, assistant professor, working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Applications at Kaptula College, Tirunelveli. My paper is a flavor of effective SPIDE 3D, LVL, MMC compressions on a non-SQL, non-sequential grayscale images. The objective of this paper is aim to compress color image using these three techniques, which is SPIDE 3D and LVL MMC compression methods in color spaces to get good compression ratio. The need of high compression ratio is to increase storage space and speed. Introduction to this paper. Social media mesmerizes the world people in sharing data, images or videos. Same time, maintaining these kind of files in desktop or mobile is a daily routine, which is very tedious task for non-technical people. To avoid this one, we want to do some kind of compression. So on another hand, online uploading or downloading data and maintenance is also a big work to student or teacher. Alternative way to maintaining of these data, image, or video can be done by compression techniques. Hence, still, compression techniques takes important role in image processing domain. Let's see, compressing of pixels. Let us say a pixel
1
is
minute,
nothing
sir.
but
1
a
minute, sir.
single point. Yes, ma'am.
Sir,
Yes,
1 minute. 1 minute, please.
Yes.
Dear participant, all of you switch on the video mode. We have to take some screenshots to submit AICT. All of you switch on the video. Please switch on the video. We have to take screenshot. All of you switch on the video.
Video.
Please switch on the video. What about others? Aravind Kumar. Aravind Kumar. Switch on. Arun, switch on the video. Padmavati, switch on the video. Shivasatya. Okay, you continue. Okay, you continue.
Okay, sir. Sir, compressing pixels is a next task of this paper. So here, original image is given like this, 4x4. A pixel is nothing but a point in a image. So here, each and every value is shows the pixels value, and the compressed image, when you add 2 pixels or when you subtract 2 pixels, it will give some kind of new pixel that will be really compressed image shown as picture. So compressed image is approximation of A1 is given as shown the figure, and the horizontal details is H1, and vertical detail is like the below picture, and diagonal details of pixels will be the fourth one, so which is a compressed one. So using compression algorithms, we can get super storage, transmission, faster computation for an image. So this will be obtained by these kind of algorithms. The redundant data are compressed by suitable compression algorithms like EZW, SPITE, STW, WDR, ASWDR, SPI3D, and LVLMMC algorithms. So using wavelet transform, we can get a excellent discrete cosine transform patterns in an image. Similarly, wavelet-based compression is best in interpreting and transmission of images for multi-resolution nature and degradation tolerance. Grayscale images, why I take grayscale images is it is having some less amount of information than the color image. So the reason for differentiating such images from any other sort of color image is that less information needs to be provided for each pixel. No need to take all kind of pixels to store the information. So in addition, grayscale images are entirely sufficient for many tasks, and so there is no need to use more complicated and harder to process color images. The hard wavelet is another image compression which is efficient way to perform both lossless and lossy image compression. Relies on averaging and differentiating values in an image matrix to produce a matrix which is sparse or nearly sparse. The sparse matrix can be stored in efficient manner, leading to smaller file sizes. So sparse matrix is used in hard wavelet. SPITE. This is a very efficient algorithm in image compression. SPITE codes are the individual bits of the image wavelet transform coefficients following a bit plane sequence. Thus, it is capable of recovering the image perfectly by coding all bits of the transform. However, the wavelet transform yields perfect reconstruction only if its numbers are stored as infinite precision numbers. SPITE, the expansion is set partitioning in hierarchical trees. For lossless compression, we proposed an integer multi-resolution transformation similar to the wavelet transform, which we called S plus T transform. It solves the finite precision problem by carefully truncating the transform coefficients during the transformation. Spite 3D is another type of spite, which is especially well fitted for three-dimensional pictures. So 3D spite coding is an excellent technique to color image compression than conventional methods such as ESW, spite generate local optimal values. In modern technology, auxiliary technique 3D spite is used in three-dimensional true color image compression. In this study, 3D spite with different color conversion methods are applied to different types of images. Next one is LVL-MMC. The LEZ and the run length encoding compression methods are excellent to TIFF documents, especially LEZW is suitable for textual content files. Another technique, LVL-MMC, sub-band thresholding of coefficients and Hoffman encoding, is a level thresholding wavelet compression method. Here, the parameters of this sub-band thresholding are calculated from the differences between means method. LEZ coding, dictionary-based coding with less strategies are applied on TIFF, GIF, PDF, zip, and etc. files. And another technology I used is morphological gradient, which is an algorithm. In mathematical morphology, the digital image processing morphology gradient is a difference between the dilation and the erosion of a given image. In this study, I have used erosion method. In this erosion method is applied to the image to compress the image. So it is an image where each pixel indicates the contrast intensity in the close neighborhood of the pixel. System architecture: input image is given, and after the getting input image, applied the compression method, spite 3D, LVL-MMC, and parallelly I apply Hoare wavelet and morphological gradient to the corresponding input image, and after that application I select the best compression method among the three, and otherwise I can take Hoare wavelet with color spaces, grid scale images, color spaces like RGB and etc. color spaces we can apply, and after this color spaces application I can go to the reconstruction image to get the best compression method. So this is a system architecture. And resultant discussion, I have displayed the table with the three methods: spite 3D, spite, LVL-MMC methods. So here I got PSNR, BP and CR as a parameter. In spite 3D, PSNR values are 29.95, 29.54, 35.23 for three images, which are PNG, and the last one is a JPG file, and bits per ratio is I got 0.53, 0.56, 0.51, and CR is the compression ratio, which is it is a must for getting a compression for an image. So compression ratio for this spite 3D is 6.73, 7.01, 6.35, and then spite method got MSE value, PSNR, PPP, and CR. When you go to compression ratio of a spite method, I got 6.9, 7.23, and 6.21. And LVL-MMC, the compression ratio is I received a little bit higher than the previous two methods, which is spite 3D and spite. So here compression rate for second image is I received 11.15. And another one more higher value is 8.63. Compared to other two methods, in LVL-MMC, I got good compression ratio, 11.15. And PSNR, if you compare with the PSNR, I received 35.46 is a good one, and compared to previous one. The PSNR gain, when you go to PSNR gain, I received 1.62 is a higher PSNR gain. So Metrics shows LBL-MMC with morphological gradient received a good one. So performance evaluation, I use this kind of formula, PSNR equal to 20, maximum XI divided by RMSE, and PSNR is a peak signal noise ratio that computes the value in decibels between two true color or gray scale compressed images. So PSNR gain is equivalent to P1 minus P2. P1 is PSNR achieved by the proposed technique, P2 is PSNR achieved by existing technique. You go to compression ratio, the most popular measure to calculate efficiency of the compression algorithm is compression ratio. It is defined by the ratio of number of bits in uncompressed data divided by number of bits in compressed data.
Madam, time over. Conclude, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Conclusion. Images and video files take a lot of space, hence transmission of images and videos takes much time. In the high-tech era, image compression is necessary for image storage and transmission. Redundant data occurred in images is repetitive and does not convey much information. Lossless compression is useful in preserving message, also useful in legal in medical data. So lossy compression algorithms compress data with less error is negligible to humans. In this paper, these three compression algorithms are applied to grayscale images with Haar wavelet and morphological methods. The results of LVL MMCs in compression ratio is notable than SPITE and SPITE 3D methods. In future, the proposed work can be extended with multimedia and animation files. Thank you for a wonderful session. Thank you for Excel College as well as the coordinator. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, madam. Next,
Thank you,
CSC02 can present. CSC02, share the PPT.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
CSC2, please share immediately. Computer
Excuse me,
Science
sir.
2, please share. Please share immediately.
Thank you.
Excuse me. ಕಳಿಸಿದೆಯಾ?
Yes, share it.
Sir, EC010 will present, sir. We're waiting from morning, sir.
Okay, share it immediately.
Yes, sir.
First come first.
Hey.
Okay, full screen mode, please. Full screen mode. Yes, good, good, good. Start, start.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. Our project title is Non-Invasive Health Monitoring System for Diabetes Patients. My team members are Dhritivi, Nandita, and Mohan Prasanna and others. And our project guide is Dinesh sir. And diabetes is one of the most challenging diseases in 21st century, and diabetes is a standout amongst the most extending disease around the world. Even COVID-19 is affecting diabetes patients the most because the patients have low immunity. It is a non-treatable sickness, and yet sugar levels can be kept in charge by keeping up in eating proportions and checking of glucose. The normal method of measuring glucose is very infectious. It affects the in the long run, and it affects the costs in the long term too. AccuCheck and strips are costly, so we have proposed a model which can be cost effective and non-intrusive prototype. Optical methods are considered to be one of the most pain-free and promising, which has good accuracy in sensitivity and complexity, lower consumption cost and accuracy, and also easily accessible system for the users to monitor and store their data for future references, which can help the user and the doctor to examine better.
So the components used in our project are SpO2 sensor, emergency switch, power supply, temperature sensor, LCD, heartbeat sensor, Wi-Fi module, and Arduino board. Coming to the working of this model, this sensor mainly works on the principle of Beer-Lambert's law, which states that absorption of light is proportional to concentration of molecules in the medium, and also the principle of spectrometry, in which is used to measure how much chemical substance is observed or transmitted. The sensor contains two LED lights, red light with 660 nanometer wavelength and infrared light with 940 nanometer wavelength. At first, we will measure hemoglobin molecule concentration. Hemoglobin molecules are of two forms, one which bears oxygen molecules and another one that doesn't bear oxygen molecules. When the patient places their finger on the sensing point, the IR light and red light is transmitted through the sensor LEDs. When these two light rays reaches bloodstream, the HPO2 molecules absorbs IR rays while the HP molecule absorbs red light. The rays that aren't absorbed by the molecules reaches photodiode. Based on the intensity of light that reaches photodiode, the concentration of molecules will be known and hemoglobin value will be displayed. Based on the values of HPO2 and HB, saturated oxygen level will be determined and glucose level will be determined based on the value of saturated oxygen level. When the glucose exceeds normal level, uh, our system also displays insulin dosage that must be administered. Along with these, heartbeat and temperature will also be measured. Heartbeat will be measured using pulse rate sensor and temperature will be measured using LM35. Wi-Fi module is used to store all the data and a graph is plotted on ThinkSpeak. All these information can be shared through Telegram application. Emergency button is also provided so that when the patient is in emergency, they can use this button and their location will be shared with those who are priorly selected by the user. To find out the accuracy of our and reliability of our project, comparison between the values that we obtain through this invasive method and the values obtained by non-invasive method uh, will be compared and error will be calculated. The advantages of our project are it is non-invasive in nature and requires no pricking or injections, and it is pain-free. A cost-effective system which does not require multiple steps for measurement. No biomedical waste is generated. Portable and environmental friendly. Real-time data is available in both web and mobile platform. Probability of human error is reduced. Self-diabetes management is easier. Documentation of data is automated, thus requires less human effort. Biotelemetry is easier for medical analysis of data. Thank you.
Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Vismaya. Vismaya is available. Whether Vismaya is available?
Ready.
You can present.
Okay,
you can
okay.
share your screen.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
Good afternoon, one and all present over here. I am with a topic related to the tricopter for ICM Rain 2021. And my topic is an experimental research on analysis and development of the Arduino-based tricopter. And my team is led by...
Vismaya.
Yes,
Vismaya,
sir.
please place your mobile horizontally.
Okay, sir.
it's fine. You
Sir,
continue.
is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. You can
Okay,
start.
and our team is led by Karthikeyan sir, and the objective of our tricopter is to detect the percentage of the gas in atmosphere and to detect about the temperature in the atmosphere, which is the information of the local site. So from this objective, it is very clear that this tricopter is useful for the agricultural purposes. And one of the main advantage of our tricopter is this will be of low budget and it will be having multiple sensors. That is, it will not only having a gas sensor but also a temperature sensor. So we are very we know that India stands for second in the population. So in such a condition, we need a very strong agriculture sector to have a rapid and quality production. So my research paper presents about the development of Arduino based tricopter. And our tricopter will be very helpful for the farmers to have a quick survey which gives an idea about the suitable climatic condition for a particular crop. And and uh, and about the principle of the tricopter is that tricopter runs on Newton's third law of motion, which states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And one of the main advantage why we chose tricopter rather than quadcopter is that it is very cheap and it stabilizes automatically. And we have enabled in our tricopter two types of mode, that is beginner mode and expert mode. This is because most of the farmers are not very much aware about handling and all. This is one of the reason why we have enabled these two modes, beginner mode and expert mode. So, talking about the design, we have three rotors, and these are in a distance slightly apart from the others to provide that additional thrust. And our tricopter is of small size, and one among the disadvantage of our tricopter is that it is more difficult to discern which part of the tricopter is noisy. So this may be difficult for the beginner to handle. And I told that we are using more than one sensor. So these are gas sensor, rain sensor, and temperature sensor. So these are the main components we needed for our tricopter. That is a standard tricopter structure. And I have already told about the advantage or why we chose tricopter over quadcopter, that is very agile due to the swell rear engine and foldable and easy to carry on the backpack, lighter than other multiple copter, is very agile, large front field of view for camera. And our structure, this structure holds all components together. One of the most important part of tricopter is frame because it supports its motor and other electronic and prevents from vibration. Now I will talk about the flight time. Flight time of our tricopter is from 6 or 7 minutes. And another thing is that learning is very simple. We have made this learning to anyone. We all know that we should if we are designing any component or something related anything, we should not make its learning and handling operations very easy to the one who is using, so it will lose its worthiness. But we have designed in such a way that it is very useful to any beginner. And we are using plastic carbon fiber materials in this, and it is very lighter. um, then automated drones can be used in oil and gas facilities for security, surveillance, emergency responses, and infrastructure inspection. In seaports, drones can perform applications such as mapping, surveying, operational site, port monitoring, and traffic control. Then each of the angle between our tricopter will be of 120 degree, which describes easiness of that. And if we are using a rotor, it produces torque that tries to spin your flying object into the opposite direction of the rotor. And I told that it is essential, it is mainly designed for the agricultural study. So farmer will be able to choose which type of crop he needs to decide, because every crops have its own advantages. Means the farmer should be very aware about which type of climatic condition is suitable for which crop, and how much light, sun, and what will be the water absorbing ability of each crop. So it is very essential to design such a tricopter. and and I have already told about the purpose, that purpose of our tricopter is to make the quick survey of the selection of the crop and to determine the climatic condition of the crop field. Now I told that we are using a gas sensor, and that is MQ135. So here it is very clear that what types of gases it can determine easily, and it is very sensitive to harmful gases in wide range, so we don't need to worry about those whole things. And another thing is rain sensor. It's also very essential for the farmers, as I already told that some crops may be having less water absorbing capability, some needs more. So this sensor is very essential. Next thing, that our tricopter is Arduino based. This is the Arduino we are using, Arduino Uno, and here we have listed about the weight of the gas sensor, and also we have listed about the weight of the rain sensor. So if we are going to work on the for future analysis, we will use a solar cell for converting of energy, and this is the budget we have for our gas sensor and rain sensor. And this will be about the launching mode. The Arduino based quadcopter have been released, but Arduino based tricopter have not yet been released, so we are going to design that. So this is about the literature survey of the agriculture survey, and thank you.
Okay, next CAC 002 can start.
Sir, shall we start?
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all gather here. Our topic is air pollution future prediction using gradient descent algorithm. Our team members are Dikshanya, Mahalakshmi, myself, and Srimati, guided by Mrs. S. Savita, Assistant Professor of IT Department, National Engineering College, Kovilpatti. Next slide. Next. Introduction. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி Okay. Introduction. Air pollution is a mixture of solid particles and gases in the air. Car emission, chemicals from factories, dust, pollen may be suspended as particles. Then ozone. It is a gas, is a major part of air pollution in cities. When ozone forms a air pollution, it's also called smog. Some air pollutants are poisonous. It causes damage to animals, crops, forests, and water bodies. It also contributes to the depletion of the ozone layer, which protects the earth from the sun's UV rays. Some of the other environmental effects of air pollution are gas eutrophication and global climate changes. Next slide. This is the literature survey. This is the papers we have referred for done our project. First one is effect of event-based sensing and IoT node power efficiency. It is a case study of air pollution, air quality monitoring in smart cities. In this paper, the main purpose of this network is to provide sufficient information to achieve more intelligent transport, energy supplies, social services, public environment, and security, etc. Next. This is another paper. This is a design and evolution of a reliable low-cost atmospheric pollution station in urban environment. This research presents the design, implementation, and evolution of a small low-cost station for monitoring atmospheric pollution. The prototype registers ozone and carbon monoxide using inexpensive sensors. An agent-based traffic regulation system for the roadside air quality control. This paper describes an on-road air quality monitoring and control approach by proposing an agent-based system for modeling the urban road network infrastructure and establishing the real-time and predicting air pollution indexes in different road segments and generating a recommendation and regulation purposes for road users. Then mutual information maximization based collaborative data collection with calibration constraint. In this paper, they propose a novel scheme to improve the accuracy of data
Srimati.
reconstruction.
Srimati.
Yes, sir.
You can proceed your work, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Please
sir.
complete the presentation within 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Next, I will continue with the problem statement of the project. In the existing system, they analyze the proportionality of the pollutant in the air based on the time of the day and day of the week. But the problem that occurred here is they cannot be able to predict the air quality index of future. They have used a tool called VECA tool, which use many algorithms for predicting, visualizing, and analyzing real-world problem by providing features like data pre-processing, classification, etc. These algorithms used here is effective in overall needs like providing the result at various stages of processing can be visualized with a beautiful and powerful visual representation. They do not provide a good prediction in the short term. This is a problem statement, and the objective of our project is to predict the future AQI value from the existing AQI value by using an algorithm called gradient descent algorithm. This algorithm, the cost is highly reduced, so we can get high accuracy. The proposed work is can be continued by another member, Dikshanya.
Good afternoon, everyone. The proposed work is we are using gradient descent algorithm, which is an overcome of linear algorithm. This algorithm is an cost efficient, highly reduced. So the data will be highly pre-processed before using before inserting into the algorithm, and then it will be proceed to train and predict the future pollutions. Next slide. It is the block diagram how the data set will be readed and pre-processed before inserting into the algorithm. After inserting it in gradient descent algorithm is the data will be before inserting into the algorithm, it will be pre-processed. Data set will be pre-processed, and then we will predict the future air pollution. Next. Implementation. We will gather the data set which consists of the most gases like NO2, SO2. With these gases, we will calculate the AQI values. After getting the data set, the data set will be pre-processed and inserted into the algorithm. The data set will be divided into two sets, such for training and some second set for testing the data set, testing the algorithm. By using the training set, the algorithm will be trained to predict the future pollution. By using the test data set, we will predict the present AQA values from the data set. Next. It is the graph that which shows the AQA value, predictive value, and the actual values of the AQA for already presented in the past values. Next. It is the predictor value, and after by using these predictor and actual value for the past, we can able to predict future values for next 4 years in the same data in the same month. Thank you.
Okay, next team can present. If CSC 003 is available, they can present. Otherwise, 5 can start. 005 can start.
Sir, CSC 06 is presented.
Yes, it's visible. What is your ID?
CSC 006.
Okay. Okay, you can continue.
Visible, sir?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon all. Myself, Asmil Abdullah, a final student studying Bachelor of Computer Application. I'm here to present the paper Deep Learning Intelligence System for the Extraction of Features from MRI Images. This is a KCC student-funded project that I done along with Dr. Julie M. David, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Application. So the problem statement. MRI scanning is a quite popular method in the medicine field. However, interpreting and evaluating the disease from this MRI image is a time-consuming process. And according to some survey, we can see that 3 to 5% of error is occurring day by day in the radiology. After doing some of the study, we can see the lack of follow-up and the inexperience by some of the radiologists are the reason for this fact scenario. So to improve the treatment methods, we need an early detection and the proper diagnosis of these diseases with the least error. So we found this as a research opportunity, and so we can develop a model that can detect the disease from the MRI images based on the feature extraction. So we are substituting the domain expertise of the radiologist with the help of AI. So we chosen the AI because it provides an impressive accuracy and sensitivity in case of image abnormalities. I use Python, OpenCV, and Keras API for generating my model. The basic objectives of my model was to extract the knowledge from the MRI using some of the machine learning techniques. We used a deep learning model for the MRI feature extraction. Another objective was to classify the images based on the extracted knowledge that's from the MRI images. And the final objective was to achieve an accurate and optimized result to diagnose the disease from these MRI images. So this is the block diagram for the methodology that I adopted to generate my model that can extract the features. So first we take the data set, after we'll be doing the image pre-processing. Next we'll be generating the model with the help of transfer learning, and we'll be doing the classification, and we'll be doing the result analysis. To the further slide, we'll be going through each of them. So for my paper, I selected two data sets that is of brain MRI of brain tumor and Alzheimer's. A total of 2,500 images was used for the training purpose and the validation. So I used three labels, namely brain tumor, Alzheimer's, and normal brain. So we'll be classifying these three labels with the help of my model. and all the images is a cross-sectional view of our brain. So image pre-processing. So what we are doing here is making our data ready for our training purpose. So it will be easy for the model to process and analyze our images. If we are pre-processing in a correct manner, we can extract the best features from our images, and it will improve our efficiency. And I'm also doing data augmentation because we have only 2,500 data, which is less in comparison to generating a model. So I'll be using data augmentation method, which will be multiplying the number of data in my data set. I'm using this with the image generator, which is a library in the Keras API. So we are doing medical image processing. So we're doing some of the medical image pre-processing techniques. First, we'll be normalizing the images. That means we'll be removing the noises from the images, and also we'll be changing the grayscale images into normal images. After that, we'll be cropping my brain images based on the brain boundaries, that is brain counters. And the final image pre-processing is converting all the images into standard ratio. That is the size of all images is converting to same. And the important pre-processing step is the changing of the color tone. So we can easily identify the pattern by the model. So in these three images, we can see that the first row is noise removed images. This is an image from the data set. On the next image, on the second row, we can see that the images are cut or cropped based on the boundaries of the images, boundaries of the brain. On the next image, we can see that the color tone of the image is changed. So we can easily identify where is the tumor exists or the Alzheimer's exists. So it will be easy for the model to learn this pattern and dominance of this pattern easily. So after pre-processing of the image, we will be doing the feature extraction and the model generation. So for model generation, I'll be using transfer learning technique, which is widely used in this field of data science. So basically, transfer learning is the reuse of pre-trained network model. So there will be a model which is trained on a particular problem. It will be trained with high efficiency, and it will be trained with millions of data. So it will be having high efficiency. So we'll take that model and we'll be doing some changes into the model, and we'll be using for our scenario. For us, it is a medical image processing. So I took VGG16, which is a model that is generated by Oxford University and trained on ImageNet. ImageNet have 10 millions of data, and it is trained. So I'll be doing some of the fine tuning to our VGG16, so we can get our required model for this, our MRI image feature extraction. So during the training, our model will look for the features like textures, shape, position of the disease pattern, and dominance of this pattern within the images. And this model will learn the features from these images. So this is a general structure of VGG16. In the blue structure, we can see this is a convolutional layers. We'll be using CNN, which is based on the CNN. So the first layers are kept aside, and the dense layers will be removing, and we'll be adding our dense layers with some of the hyperparameters. So we can get the required model for our medical image processing. So the classification using CNN. After the model is trained, the features are learned by our model. The model knows how to extract and classify these images we are giving. So the classification means identification of the label. For example, if you are giving a brain tumor image, the model will say it is a brain tumor, or it is an Alzheimer's, or it is a not tumor image. So this process is involved in the classification. We'll be using three labels, namely Alzheimer's, brain tumor, and no tumor. We'll be classifying only these three labels at now. So we use it convolutional neural network to classify our images because it has a powerful property known as feature learning. You can automatically learn all the features, not like other machine learning techniques. CNN can automatically learn the features from the given data. And it also can be used with the data with the multiple levels of abstraction. The data with the multiple levels of abstraction is there. So we can use CNN for such data. It will also provide improved accuracy comparing to other machine learning methods. In comparison to while we are processing an image, it will take a lot of time, hours and days to completely process an image. But with the help of CNN, we can reduce the training time in comparison to the old machine learning models. And one of the important feature of CNN is it is the best solution for the image processing. So this is an CNN general classifier. We will be having an input image, and the second section will be feature extraction section, where there will be convolution of the features, and we'll be making feature maps, and we'll be making the feature reduction is done. We'll be extracting the best features from this session. After that, we will be classifying our images based on the labels or the labels be given. So the result analysis. After doing this classification and the training, I got the result. I done a two experiment with the sigmoid function and the softmax function. In the sigmoid function, I got only 89% of accuracy. While I'm doing the softmax function, I got 96% of accuracy. That accuracy means accuracy is directly proportional to the correctness of classification. So in experiment 2, when I get 100 images, I got 96 images as a correct input. And all other metrics like recall, precision, sensitivity, specificity, all these metrics show an 90 above value. So which means my model is a highly accurate one. So now I would like to tell about the future scope of the system. So this model can be deployed in any MRI scanning machine and classify this image based on the disease. There is no time consuming process. So after the MRI scan is generated, just give to our model and it will be classifying which disease is the identified. And also this model can be, after further upgradation, this model can be trained to predict disease from any given MRI. There is no specific brain MRI. We can take MRI of any body part and we can train the model, and it can also use it to classify them. And another scope of the system is we can train or collaborate the model to identify the treatment for the detected disease. After a disease is detected, we can also make a model to suggest what treatment is possible for to cure these diseases. These are some of the future scope of my system. So to conclude, we can see that in the present world, deep learning and computer vision is making a core foundation in the medical image processing. So through this paper, I was explaining how I generated a model that can classify the MRI images with the help of transfer learning, and I achieved a 96% of accuracy. Also, I would like to add that we can improve this 96% of accuracy if we are having more high resolution image to our data set. So this is all about my paper. Any queries? Sir, any queries?
Any queries from participants side? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for organizing this wonderful session.
The next participant can start. Who is available next? 003 is available. Is it 005?
Yes, sir. 005 is positive.
Okay, okay, you can carry on.
Hello,
And
sir, am I audible?
first, yes, it's audible. Please restrict your presentation to 5 minutes. Everyone, please present within 5 minutes, within 5 to 7 minutes. Don't extend your presentation beyond that. You can carry on.
Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Kaushik from the Department of Mechatronics. Now we are here to present a simple IoT based junction box. Hello. Mani?
Mani Bharati?
Yes, sir.
Please share once again.
Okay, sir.
So let me give a brief introduction about our project, sir. So the IoT junction box consists of supply unit, Wi-Fi switch, relay, two-way switch, and mobile phone with app created for the smart switch box. So relay is nothing but which is used to create an Internet of Things project with safe, reliable power control. With the IoT power relay, we can easily control the power. Box achieves controls through relay via Wi-Fi switch, which determine the connection between power input and home appliances. The Wi-Fi module which we have used in our project is ESP8266 chip, sir. It is very easy. The ESP8266 chip is which can
Then the overall explanation of our project is the switch block contains the two-way switches. ESP will switch with the device which is connected with it, and the mobile app will connect the ESP switch which is the present inside in the switch box via Ethernet. If the mobile phone was not available and any issues in the network and using on-off, the overall explanation of our IoT project is using on-off buttons in the mobile app. The app gives the control signal to the ESP switch and control the plug point on or off. If the mobile phone was not available in our hand or any issues in the network connectivity, the two-way switch is very useful for turn off or on off plug points. Extra money. And if the device turned on or off using switch, in case the device rather how to turn off or on, it can be controlled using mobile. Complexity of the overall circuit. The single switch which is in the top of the switch box socket controls the input supply of the ESP switch. Next. Wi-Fi module. Wi-Fi switch is the heart of the whole IoT because it mainly deals with the connectivity and communication. This figure shows the block diagram of Wi-Fi module, which is based on the ESP8266 chip. Voltage regulator offers constant power to ESP8266. Next. The VCC pin is used to give input supply of Wi-Fi module. TXD and the RXD pin act as a transmitter, and TXD and receives a signal from the same device via TXD. Next. This is the schematic diagram of the IoT based junction box. Relay 1, 2, 3, 4 are connected to relay driver, and the temperature sensor is connected to the Wi-Fi module and IoT ESP8266 chip. Next. Relay pinout. For a demonstration process, let's take out a look of the pinout of the two-channel relay module. Using a relay module with a different number of channels is similar. The two connectors with three sockets each on the left side of the relay module connect high voltage, and a pin on the right side low voltage connect to the ESP chip. Next, our colleague Mohan Krishnan will explain.
Power supply mode. Power supply unit is the important area that determines the stability of system. The step down transformer used to step down the voltage and then pi. Filter consists of capacitor C1, C2 and inductance L1 to reduce electromagnetic interference noise. Next. Power supply module. The diode bridge rectifier is used to convert AC to DC supply and delivers 5 volt. The 5 volt is converted into 3.3 volt using voltage regulator and supplies to the ESP switch. From the circuit, the switch box can be operated directly via two-way switch and also via internet using ESP switch. Next. Power supply module and circuit. We used two relay 1, relay 2, ESP8266. Next. ESP switch with relay. The Wi-Fi switch was operated at DC voltage, and to interlink the switch AC source by using relay, the relay circuit gets input from the controller and controls the plug socket to turn on or off the interconnection of Wi-Fi switch. The relay connection was shown. Next. Wi-Fi module programmer. The Arduino IDE is used to embedded coding the Arduino board. The same software package is used to ESP8266 switch by installing the ESP switch driver. The programming language coding syntax used for Arduino is to use here. Next. Demo. Upload the code to the node MCU. Ensure everything is connected as described under this schematic section. After uploading the code, you should see the IP address of your web server display in the series monitor. Next, my colleague Manibadi is present.
A simple mobile controller. By installing the app Blink, it can be used. Copy the IP address and paste in the web browser, which was received from the mail. After successful creating app, it connected with the server. Via server, it links with the Wi-Fi switch. In the socket named 126, those individual plugs can be turned on and off using an app and also the switch. The paper deals with the proposed design of IoT-based switch box control strategy was shown at the end of the paper. This was a simple automation used in only at the homes. By the user, we can be installed with the Raspberry Pi and used in the big industries and make an autonomous world. Thank you for this giving opportunity to excel engineering colleges. Thank you.
Is available next?
Ready, sir.
What's your ID?
Sir, CSE 007.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our PPT
Once
is
again, share your screen. Someone interrupted. Once again, share your screen.
Sir.
Once again, share your screen.
Okay, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it's visible but not pinned. So give stop sharing and once again share it.
Okay, sir. Is it okay, sir?
Yes. Yes, okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic is optimization of online shipping management using machine learning techniques. Myself, Darshika, and my team members are Ritani and Vaishnavi. We are from Kongu Engineering College. Our main motive is using the machine learning algorithm. It is the application of artificial intelligence, which provide the system's ability to automatically learn and improve the explicit programmer. Next, our project. The main motive of our paper is to present the delivery time reduction model for the company and to develop the prediction model for the anticipatory shipping. It also helps to predict the online shopping data. We can use the machine learning techniques, which is the emerging scientific field in the data science. So we develop our system with the high accuracy by different machine learning techniques. Our development is mainly based on the three algorithms, that is k-mean clustering, support vector machine, and KNN. The k-mean clustering is mainly used for identify the clusters, SVM is for the classification, and KNN for accuracy. We have surveyed the paper of epileptics production based on the permutation entropy. Here, the SVM algorithm is used. It is mainly based on the statistical learning theory. It is more effective in the high dimensional spaces and it also used for classification. Next, extracting and selecting the deductive egg features for the efficient epileptic. Here, the k-means algorithm is used. It is reliable and effective algorithm to identify the clusters depend on specified number of clusters. Next, prediction using the polynomial SVM classification. And here it also used the KNN algorithm, k nearest neighbor. It is also a statistical theory based on it. You mainly used for accuracy. It depends upon the qualities of data.
System analysis. In existing system, Amazon-like companies use big data, including history and data from its e-commerce portal, to predict a customer's online purchases and ships products to a area too close to the customer. In this existing system, we use the customer information, gender, sign up, year segment. In order information, order data, products ordered, total number of orders per customer. Drawbacks of the existing system. K-means will group the data based on the K value given only. We cannot find high value or low value customer using this clustering. SVM could not be preferred when the outlier data is more and set grows larger.
Proposed system. All the existing system approaches are carried out in proposed system. In addition, KNN algorithm, it is used to predict the models as it helps better in various ways. A wide variety of shopping records can be taken for classification purpose and predicting a new model at the same time increasing the efficiency. It is found to be fixed data set files are given as input, but new records can be given for classification at any time. KNN could be preferred when the data set grows larger. Two categories, low and high, based on total transaction amount, are selected for classification. It is not sensitive to outliers.
Here are the hardware requirements and software requirements. Next, we use the main algorithm, k-means algorithm. K-means algorithm is mainly based on the k value. It is used for the soft clustering and also used for unsupervised learning for the unlabeled data. This algorithm is most popular and reliable and effective algorithm. It is mainly used the least square distance error to identify the clusters depending on the specified number of clusters. Mainly select the number k and to decide the number of clusters. Second step is to select the random k points or centroids to modify the clusters and also access the each data point for the closest centroid, which will be predefined as k clusters, and then it is used to calculate the variance and place a new centroid of these clusters. By default, the k value is given as 5.
Second algorithm is support vector machine. In support vector machine ensures a machine learning technique on the basis of statistical learning theory. It separates the customers with low value in one side and high value in another side. Then low value and high value customers are classified in separate categories and displayed. In this classification, total number of orders and total transaction amount is given in the data list. Third one is the k nearest neighbor classification. It is based on the statistical learning theory. In KNN is applied with k parameter, training data and testing data. 75% training records and 25% testing records are given to predict the model. The customers are classified as low value or high value customer. K is found out and classified accordingly in this addition.
Data set in pre-processing, they eliminate NA values and remove all zero records. Machine learning application, data sets and ML. Shopping data set, ML in K-means clustering, SVM, KN classification for shopping data. Predicting the uh, predicting the shopping data in KNN, classified output and reports. Result. The K-means model aims better accuracy only if the test record is exactly matched with any of training data records. To provide classified output using KNN algorithm, to process large volume of data set to get enhanced result. To provide the classification of customer with high value and lower value. To provide better result using SVM classification to get a highly profitable business promotion.
Here are the book reference and the web reference. We have referred the Learn R Programming Complete Guide for Beginners and R for Beginners and Beginning the Statistical Programming Language.
Then next is a conclusion. The main drawback is to achieve the best classification result for the given problem. Many key parameters are required to be set exactly. Always gives good prediction and simple to implement. Sensitive to how inputs are being prepared. When it is increasing the training database count. SVM algorithm work well even with both unstructured and semi-structured data like text and images, but difficulty with dealing with complex model big data. It requires huge processing time.
Future enhancement. In addition, this project may classify the online shipping data records using KNN to predict the model for future test record datasets. It will be helpful in analyzing the criteria in the past so as to predict the future levels if outlier problem is solved much more than SVM. In future, logistic regression can be applied to further classify the data if accuracy could be increased. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, shall I present? Sir, sir, shall I present?
Who is available next?
Sir, please, sir, CSC3.
What is your ID?
CSC3, sir.
3.
3.
Okay, okay, you can start.
Sir, is screen visible? I'm Guru Suresh. I'm presenting a paper on mushroom classification using different machine learning algorithms. Nowadays, there are different challenges to develop a system that analyze huge and complex data to make better decisions. This study aims to find a new approach working to classify the mushrooms based on mushrooms shape and colors and some other data.
Please speak loudly. Voice is too loud.
Okay. Okay, sir. Machine learning relies under the umbrella of artificial intelligence that allows computer systems to learn based on the data. It has been making great progress in many directions. Algorithms we use. We are using four algorithms, four supervised algorithms. First one is logistic algorithm, and second one is decision tree, and third one is neighborhood, and the last one is random forest. Like, we are get our data set in Kaggle. There are two categories. One is edible and poisonous. Uh, we are classifying. We are predict the mushroom. We are predict the mushrooms are edible or not with the given data set. There are a lot of missing data and some data in
string. So we are clean and analyze the data set using NumPy, Pandas, and Matplot. We are fill the missing data with the minimum mean value, and we are convert the string value to numerical value. We are just apply the machine learning algorithms that gives the maximum accuracy score. So we didn't use any hypertuning and cross validation. And after we are applying the all machine learning algorithms, we are getting that getting that logistic algorithms and random forest is the best algorithm for this data set. And in the study, we are comparing the uh, we are analyzing the data set and comparing with the what machine learning algorithms is best for the data set. Thank you, sir.
Anybody wants to present? Anyone wants to present? Or shall we conclude the program? Feedback. Okay, everyone present in online. There will be a keynote speaker session. Please wait for some 2-3 minutes. If anyone wants to present, please let me know. Within 2-3 minutes, we'll start the 4th session keynote speaker session.
Okay, now you can start your presentation now.
Now, liver lesson classification using convolution neural network. You can start your presentation.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to one
Good
and all
afternoon.
present here. Sir, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, you can start. Full
Okay,
screen
sir.
mode, please. Press
Okay.
F5 for full screen mode.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Press F5. All of you, please wait for the validatory function. Dr. S.R. Devadasan is going to speak on the latest trends of research and publication in manufacturing area. He is a senior professor. He has 3,500 citations. He is one of a manufacturing engineering professor in the PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore. Senior most person is having very good H-index, very good publications, so that that session will be very much useful to the participant. Now you can start presentation. Ma'am, you can start the presentation. Madam, you can start presentation. ஐயோ பாருங்க பாருங்க. அவர் வந்துட்டாரா? Now Dr. Prakash will introduce our chief guest, Dr. S.R. Devadasan, PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore.
Good evening to one and all participants here. It's a great pleasure to introduce today's keynote person of our final session, Dr. S.R. Devadasan. So before starting that, I would quote a few words about him. A dream is not a thing which you see in sleep. A goal is a dream with a definite action and plan. Here we have such an eminent personality who has miraculously transformed his dreams into action. Yes, it's true. For our respected keynote speakers of our international conference ICMR Rain 2021, Dr. S.R. Devadasan, Professor, Production Engineering of PhD College of Technology. He started his career in 1989 as a faculty in PSG Tech. He is having 32 years in teaching field. He started publishing the papers from 1995 in various journals. Until now, his publication crosses more than 141 in all the areas like industrial engineering, lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, quality engineering, supply chain management, total quality management, and total productive management. He also acts as a reviewer for 17 articles. SARS Google citation is 3191. H index is 31 and I-10 index is 97. Once again, I am thanking you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Now, Dr. S.R. Devadasan, sir, will address the keynote. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir, for introducing me to the audience. The organizers of the conference, respected Professor Dr. Karnagaran, and delegates of this conference. At the outset, I am very thankful for giving me an opportunity to share some of my thoughts with regard to the research trends that are happening today in manufacturing engineering field. The topic I have chosen is that latest trends of research and publication manufacturing engineering. During the past 2 days, you have been presenting papers. Many of the concepts that I am going to deliberate maybe coinciding with what you have presented. But I believe this presentation has to be a thread between the future and the present activities and the challenges that we face, how we are going to overcome. These aspects are more concerning today rather than doing the actual research. So to begin with, the origin of manufacturing field. Manufacturing field is one of the ancient field. Man would have become a manufacturer as soon as he would have manufactured weapons out of stones to kill his prey and eat. So this way manufacturing engineering has been playing a very vital role in the life of humankind. Then the manufacturing was taking place for a long time in a routine manner. At one point of time, man began to develop many ideas, like developing complex products using different components fitting into one and making the life better and better. When those developments were taking place, the man began to face so many challenges. Probably many of us may be knowing one of the Tamil song sung by one of Tamil song written by late poet Kannadasan. The man saw the bird and he developed the aircraft. It is true that on seeing the bird, the human beings started to show interest to develop a aircraft, but it didn't happen within a short period of time. Even there was a news that people wore clothes like birds, and they tried to fly in the sky. But later on, it was the writers who brought out the first skeleton form of the aircraft. But in using that particular aircraft, only 2 persons could fly, that too with high risk at any time. The aircraft might fall, and it might even kill the people who would be piloting them. So a lot amount of research was required further and further to develop that particular manufacturing engineering concept into a practical form, which will make the humans to use that particular product in a comfortable manner. So our researchers should be tuned to meet those kind of unique objectives, and it should not actually end with the theory creation alone. Rather, the research activities must have to end with an outcome which would ease the life of humankind. So that way, our research activities should be focused. Then accordingly, the objectives of the researchers also must have to be developed. It can be in the case of products, it can be in the case of processes, and it can be in the case of the services. Then accordingly, the question now arises. Okay, what when can we say that it is a good manufacturing engineering research? Okay, so as long as the outcomes that are coming out of the manufacturing engineering researchers are practically applicable and adaptable to the practical scenario, then we can say that the research conducted was good. Okay, so this way, our manufacturing engineering researchers should be oriented to serve the human beings. So in case we are able to do that kind of research, a day will come, not very late, even within a short period of time, when manufacturing engineers who are working in company environments will come to our colleges to seek for the practical skills and knowledge that we have developed. Some efforts are going on, like developing incubation center in institutions, but so far the outcomes are not very impressive. The new products are developed by the companies themselves, and because the manufacturing engineers who work in companies are having little exposure to the the research activities that are taking place in colleges and also in research establishments. The knowledge contained in them are very limited. Okay, so then the question arises, when can we get the degree for recognizing our engineering research? Because we know that PhD is recognized as a research and degree, and on completing our research activities, our achievements of recognized by awarding PhD. So in not award PhD, we are required to publish research papers in conferences as well as in journals. In fact, in the beginning, we are required to present largely papers in conferences of this sort, so that we can confer or we can mix with fellow researchers like us to share our views and ideas. Then after gathering all knowledge and doing research, high-end research outcome has to be developed and germinated in the form of research papers which should be published in journals. In at a later point of time, the researchers should not stop presenting and publishing papers in conferences, because in conferences, as I just mentioned, we get the opportunity to share our views and ideas with our researchers, like us. So likewise, many avenues are available for publishing researches that are carried out in manufacturing engineering field. There is no dearth for it. There is no scarcity for publishing our researches in the form of research papers. So whether we are teachers or whether we are working working manufacturing engineers, on one side, we can keep on publish our researchers in journals, and also present the papers in conferences. Okay, so now what kind of research we are supposed to carry out? One is that theoretical research, the other one is practical research. Okay, so there are situations in which theory itself has to be developed to a great extent. For example, even today, there was an article about Einstein. Even today, the experts are exploring the contents of Einstein's brain. Okay, how his thinking was very new of his kind. How was he able to come out with so many theoretical aspects? We all know about the equation called E is equal to mc square that was developed by Einstein. So now there are situations, okay, like as I mentioned, when man saw the birds, he devised aircraft. Okay, so that is the theory. Likewise, okay, man thought about moving the vehicle along the fixed path. Okay, as a result, the railway tracks were developed, and today millions of billions of miles are connected through railway tracks. So that basic theory plays a very important role. In many cases, it might look even impossible to achieve, but on further working on it, at one point of time, the world is getting the benefit. So likewise, if you take the case of the systems like quality systems and environmental systems, that were all developed theoretically by the experts about 30 years back, and it looked almost somewhat impossible to achieve. So, so that the theory was very useful to the future researchers to further work on it. Okay, so the theory formation, okay, has to be a part of the research work. Today, in journals, generally theoretical researchers are not accepted. So our researchers are tilted towards only practical research. So in order to see that theoretical research actually being deliberated, we have to make use of the opportunity to present them in conferences, in international conferences like the one we have been attending right now. Then comes the practical research. We know many models are available with us, many theoretical models are available with us, and particularly mathematical models are available with us, and they are incorporated with high level of knowledge. But when we put it in practice, they are not very effectively carried out in all aspects. However, in certain products, process and services, those models are used. For example, if we take the case of a vacuum cleaner, the fuzzy logic is actually utilized to a great extent. However, we researchers have to further work on it, and the theoretical research has to be converted into the practical research by tuning the theoretical knowledge that have been developed. Then what are the broad areas in which the manufacturing engineers have to work. Okay, actually, when we talk about manufacturing engineers, we are tilted to think that manufacturing engineers are mechanical engineers. Actually, it is not so. Manufacturing is a multi engineering program. In every field, manufacturing engineering is required. For example, we take the case of biotechnology. Okay, so the machines are important to produce the chemicals from them. And if you take the case of nanotechnology, again, okay, the machines are very important for producing the nano particles. So you take the case of say IT. So the chips and IC, which are going to be used, will only determine the efficacy of applying IT. So again, manufacturing engineering is actually required. So it is a highly interdisciplinary engineering field, and irrespective of the specialization we had in our undergraduate programs, we have to work on contributing towards the growth of manufacturing engineering field and research. So coming to the terms in this direction, that is about that is we have to think about the broad areas. One is that production planning and control. So the design is completed, then they need to be properly produced and controlled. So let us think about say pharmacy. So various medicines have come, and today every day we hear about the vaccine, that is co-vaccine. Which is required for inoculating COVID-19. Now, we need to know the efforts that we have to make to see that the contents and compositions are perfectly in tune with the requirement. Okay, otherwise, okay, that medicine will not serve purpose. Sometimes, okay, we hear that on injecting those medicines, some side effects are found. Some people have been even hospitalized. Okay, so we have to check whether this kind of setbacks happen, whether due to the improper manufacturing of the vaccine. So when during the production, okay, the manufacturing is not properly done, okay, then it is likely that it will affect the various organs of the people who get injected. So in that case, okay, it may lead to the disturbance to the people concerned. Then comes production engineering. Okay, so we talked about biotechnology. Okay, so now in this, okay, entire production plan we have to make. Then all possible way of improving the production, okay, need to be found out. Starting from process plan, the production engineering activities have to be developed so that, okay, high productivity and high quality products, process and services are offered to the community concerned. So then comes production technologies. One of the challenges, okay, that we face is that various technologies are emerging out in today's world, and when we work in manufacturing field, we need to get exposed to those particular technologies. Only then we will be able to achieve cost reduction, then productivity improvement, quality improvement, and even time compression, that is within a short period of time the products, okay, are to be produced. In fact, if we take the history of manufacturing engineering, time compression has played a major role. For example, during the olden days, when Ford produced Ford car, in the initial days, he was taking about 20 days to produce a car. So later on, he himself further worked on it. He compressed the time. He reduced it to even 2 hours. At one point of time, once in every 2 hours, he was able to produce one car. So he used efficient technologies for this purpose, and we researchers have to work on developing that kind of technologies. Then production management. So when that production activity takes place all over the world, we will be seeing one term called ubiquitous manufacturing in one of the slide. Okay, in that slide we will see how currently the mankind wants to produce and use the products from different parts of the world. So now many components of the products are produced in different parts of the world. So managing that production has been a challenge, and at the same time, in order to manage production in IT is being utilized. So now efforts are made to see how to get some more technologies to manage the production in an efficient manner. Then comes operations and management. uh, processes, okay, have to be improved. The approaches to the production itself, okay, has to be improved, so that no waste in producing products, offering services, and using the process should take place. For example, in the case of data person system, pull system is utilized. That means according to the customer's requirement, the information is passed into the shop floor, and only the required product with the required specification and required quantity are only produced. Okay, once that that project is completed, then another project will be taken up. So this is yet another body in which we get to work. So currently, what are the fields in which our research scholars mainly work? There is optimization of production parameters. For example, if you take the case of say like friction stir welding. So this is a new technology. In this, using the friction staring capability, the welding is that. In order to get a good weldment, what are the parameters, okay, that are supposed to be utilized? Okay, so what parameters actually play a major role? For example, they may be concentrating on increasing the depth of cut, whereas the problem may be lying with the feed, or the problem may be lying with the input voltage. So now the researchers have to identify those parameters, and we need to find out the optimized values, so that okay, the desired output, okay, is required to be achieved. Then optimization of welding parameters. Okay, so welding is one field in which many research imperatives are yet to be overcome, or many secrets are yet to be unearthed. For example, still it has been a challenge to weld the dissimilar metals, and it has been a challenge to weld the plastic materials. So now many types of welding equipment have come, irrespective of the field to which the researcher belongs to. The researchers can be carried out to identify the optimized values of welding parameters. Then again, optimization of operations. Okay, for example, if we take the case of scheduling. So in the company, 10 number of models of the products are required to be produced, and they take up 25 number of transfer lines, and the various combinations through which the operations can be achieved, and the researchers, okay, have to find out a method by means of which the best schedule is obtained so that cost is reduced and also the time of manufacturing activities are reduced that way. The outcomes are required to be produced. So then investigations and apply new product technology. That is our counterparts or the experts or manufacturing engineers working in company environment have come out with many new technologies. So some of them are listed below, like nanotechnology, 3D printing, then rapid manufacturing, like those new technologies have been brought in. So we researchers are required to join hands with those practicing manufacturing engineers and also with the companies that are associated with that, and we have to implement those technology in practice, and we have to see whether in practice really we are able to get the projected outcome. For example, if you take theoretical calculations, electrical motor is supposed to give 60% efficiency, whereas in practice an electrical motor gives rise to only about 35% efficiency. So researchers are still going on to improve the efficiency. On one side, we think that it has reached a final stage. We can't actually further work on it, and we give up the plan. But whereas it is not so. If you take the case of say like the illumination technology, the CFL technology has been brought out. So this has reduced the energy usage by about 60% in industrial environment as well as in homes. Likewise, when these new technologies are used, we researchers can further study whether it gives rise to the same outcome that we expect out of it. For example, electrical cars are about to float in our roads. So we have to see whether those cars are giving rise to the performance which is actually projected by the manufacturers. If not, we have to develop solutions for that particular for reaching that particular goal. Then comes the new type of models, like lean manufacturing, agile manufacturing, and as I mentioned a little time back, ubiquitous manufacturing. I mentioned about lean manufacturing also. Many of you would have presented papers on lean manufacturing also. It rests on the principle that eliminating waste will result in the improving the performance of the organizations. In order to eliminate waste, we have to improve quality and we have to enhance productivity and then as a result, the cost will be reduced. The time of manufacturing also be will be reduced. And if you take the case of agile manufacturing, okay, here the companies have to be agile. Agile refers to the capability of a company to react quickly, even before the opponent starts competing with the same company. So you might have seen one advertisement of a leading textile distribution company. That is, it goes like this: always one step ahead. Okay, so likewise in the case of agile manufacturing, a company has to always think of going one step ahead with regard to all production management activities. It may be like product development, it may be like production engineering, it may be like process development, it may be like service. Even in the case of service, okay, what kind of further improvement that we can make. For example, companies like Swiggy. Okay, so they they deliver the products very fast. So now we can further work to find out the ways of still improving the speed of delivering the products. Okay, any other new models, okay, that can be made. Then ubiquitous manufacturing, okay, refers to the capability of producing the product anywhere and anywhere as it is getting assembled, and anywhere it is being sold. Okay, so in fact, okay, in some fields it is already taking place. Okay, for example, laptops. Okay, many of the laptops are actually manufactured in different parts of the world. Okay, so the virtual manufacturing has to be applied to see that anywhere else in the world the components of the products that we manufacture, and they need to be assembled. So in that assemble that we need to have machineries that will suit our purpose. Okay, then in your conference presentation, many of you presented their work on Industry 4.0 or even 5.0. Okay. In fact, okay, applying Industry 4.0 itself, okay, is a challenge. So I have not just ignored it. Okay, even though in the title of this international commerce only Industry 5.0 is there, I used Industry 4.0 because many challenges of implementing Industry 4.0 outcomes are yet to be realized. Okay, so now in that particular angle, what we have to learn and contribute. Okay, so but irrespective of the field to which we belong, we need to absorb knowledge about artificial intelligence. Okay, so from that perspective, our research activities should be carried out. Then we know that internet has come to play a very major role in our even day-to-day life, and our way of working and thinking itself, okay, has changed a lot. So now we need to absorb abundant knowledge on industrial internet of things. Then again, having standalone system is not sufficient. So we go for cloud computing. Then learning by human beings alone, okay, is not sufficient. Okay, rather machine learning, okay, is to be made. That means, okay, the programs, okay, that we develop are tuned to enable the machine. Okay, so it may look very new to you, but already the software developers of mobile phones have been using the machine learning practice. For example, in the case of using message in mobile phones, when we use one particular word very frequently, the program has been written in such a way that when we start just keying in first two letters or three letters, then that letter is automatically displayed. Okay, for example, as a researcher, I may be very frequently using the word investigations. Okay, so the program has written in such a way that when I use investigations twice, it gets recorded. So when the third time, when I just type IN, it itself, okay, shows the in the investigations. So when the world is moving in that direction, okay, unfortunately, the COVID-19 problem developed. Okay, so now in this particular situation, okay, how to change our manufacturing styles. It has changed our style also. Okay, even a conference is held in a virtual manner like this. Work from home is actually being done, but still there are many questions to be answered. Not all activities can be done virtually. Many activities have to be done by physical touching of the things. So now we engineers have to work to find out the ways of overcoming that kind of issues. So you see, that's one leading journal of management. Okay, so they exclusively brought out an issue to deal with the effects of COVID-19 in global supply chain responses, resilience, and restoration. Okay, so this is what I mentioned about ubiquitous manufacture: design anywhere, make anywhere, sell anywhere at any time. This way, the world actually currently wants to go. And as soon as the IT came up, these facilities began to emerge in the world. People began to claim that the world has become a global village. So when it becomes global village, this kind of manufacturing is actually made possible. So we know that so many issues are to be tackled in this, like currency transfer among the countries, and raw material transfer, raw material checking. Okay, so many things are there. So all these are achieved by making some technologies like block technology and so on. Okay, so what kind of research, okay, that we researchers can do? One is fully industry oriented. Okay, and then we can take fully software and IT enabled. Okay, so program based one, then mixed approach. Okay, like that. This kind of approach you can do, and what was that research, okay, and that we do, as long as it doesn't contain any confidential data and information, we need to publish. Only then our research will recognition. Okay, so terms like H index, I index, okay, these are all used to indicate the development. So some of the publishers, leading publishers' names are listed here. The websites are also listed here. Those lists are very well known to you. Now, thanks to the availability of this international library, many full text of the many papers are actually made available. Okay, so that some of the reputed journals in which we should try to publish. Currently, most of the journals are edited and managed by academic people like us. So theoretical knowledge gets dominated in those particular journals. So we need to study. We need to read the research outcomes from this. Then we can further work on implementing it actually in practice and report the level of achievement that we have got. For example, International Journal of Professional Research, there is a very leading journal, and if you are able to publish, okay, it receives a good recognition. Then professional planning and control. That's also yet another journal which publishes works on manufacturing engineering. When we try to publish, we are driven to read the developments that have already been taking place. That thereby we get new knowledge, and it triggers us to think more about it, and we to further move in the ladder. Okay, so if you are able to raise our research outcomes to this extent, as I mentioned in the beginning, the practical uses like manufacturing engineers will come to our colleges and research institutions to get the ideas from us. Okay. So now, coming to the last slide, these are the goals that to be achieved. So attending a conference, presenting papers is one of the stepping stones of reaching that particular. But at the same time, in order to achieve that goal, so many challenges are required to be faced. Okay, so the first challenge is that the lack of a link between academia and the practicing engineers. So we need to work on finding the mechanism and model so that we establish link with the practical activities. Then comes the identification of target group. So when we do our work, the group that will get the benefit that we need to identify. Many researchers are coming out with good research, but okay, the identification of the target group is not very specific. They are very scattered, and finally, even though the work is good, it remains only as a report in the library of the university and the college. So the target group has to be identified, then their need has to be fulfilled also. So that the target group will get the benefit, and they will be appreciative of the research, okay, that we academic people do in our environment. Then balancing of academic and research activities. That is, we have to teach during our working hours. At the same time, we have to have research activities also. Okay, so no, preferably we have to teach new subjects which will be similar to our research activities, and thereby we will be able to align the research and academic activities together. Then comes the publication of papers. Of course, publication of from the beginning I have been talking about publication of papers. Exercise. So the moment when we are given a particular subject, we think about the books which are to be referred, and the models, okay, that are available for teaching. Those are things, okay, that we think about. So likewise, okay, the paper publication also has to be a part of the work. And once, okay, we are able to do some improvement to the product, we can even go to the extent of obtaining patents. Okay, so and finally, in total, the research activities, okay, that we do finally should result in new knowledge. Okay, those who have been working in manufacturing may be knowing. For example, AHP, analytical hierarchy process. Okay, it is widely applied, and everybody knows that team of researchers with the first other being Saati, they have actually brought out that. So today it is being widely used. So likewise, okay, we researchers should strive to come out with new knowledge that will be beneficial to the target group. Okay, thank you, and thanks for the opportunity given to me for sharing the research activities that are currently taking place, and the research activities that are required to be carried out in future. Okay, with this, okay, I'd like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Now we can start the feedback session. Dear participant, you can give your valuable feedback to us.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Sridhar, research scholar from Anna University, Chennai. I am happy to be part of this international conference. As part of this international conference, I will learn many new things apart from my research area. My research area is image processing. Sir. Image processing. In image processing, image fusion of the images, satellite images. In by attending this conference, I am very much happy, and also at the same time, I am very high. My knowledge is also improved. Sir. I am thanks to the keynote addresses of the renowned persons. Thanks for the Excel Engineering College. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Other participants can give feedback. Now we can come to the end of the session. Okay, now I will propose vote of thanks. This is the time to propose vote of thanks. Good afternoon, one and all present here.
Excuse me,
If my
sir.
yes,
Sir, our presentation is still pending, sir. CSE 017.
okay, no problem, ma'am. Okay, no problem. This is the time is 4:15, so that we have to wind up the session. Then only we can back. No problem.
Okay,
Uh,
sir.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Good afternoon to one all present here. It's my immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks for the people who are taking care of us. First, I thank AICTE for sanctioning fund to organize international conference on materials, manufacturing, robotics, automation, artificial intelligence, and networking for Industry 5.0. That is ICM RAIN. I thank the management for their continuous support regarding this conference, ICM RAIN 2021. And I thank our chief guest of the function, Dr. S.R. Devadasan, Professor, Production Engineering, PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore, and today's forenoon keynote address given by Dr. B. Arun Sriralan, Professor, Asia Pacific University Technology, Malaysia, and yesterday chief guest, inaugural function chief guest, Dr. Suresh Palisamy, Professor, Swinburne University of Technology, Australia. I thank for their valuable presentation here. And Dr. Yanam Ravikumar, he gave keynote address in the afternoon session yesterday. He's a professor, National Institute of Technology, Warangal. And I thank our Vice Chairman, Excel Group of Institution, Dr. N. Madan Karthik, for his continuous effort given behind this conference. And I thank principal of our college and executive director, technical campus, for making this conference as grand success, Dr. K. Pomana Raja, sir. And I thank our director administration, Excel Technical Campus, Dr. Nallusamy, for their valuable suggestions and motivation. And director IRRP, Excel Group of Institution, Dr. D. Devakumar, who is our continuous guidance regarding the industrial lessons and research projects. I thank to Dr. D. Devakumar again. And I thank Dr. S.P. Venkatesan, Professor and Head of the Department of Aeronautical Engineering, for their continuous support to organize these functions with our faculty members. And I thank various head of institutions and head of the departments of Excel Engineering College, staff members, non-technical staffs, and official staffs, participants from various colleges and students of our college. Once again, I thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
With this, we can wind up the session. If you have any queries, you can contact me personally, or otherwise you can mail, or otherwise you can give WhatsApp message. Thank you, participants.